Hi YouTube, it's Point Shooter here. Today I'm doing a channel update for April 2015. Wanted to wish everyone a happy Easter. And yesterday on Good Friday, I was able to go down to my favorite store in the whole world, the local Army Navy surplus store. What really is fun for me is when things get stressful or you just want a break. I think a lot of people have a special place that they go and they could spend hours there. Well, for me, that's a surplus store. And I've been friends with the owner for years. And one of the things that I do every couple months is I get down there. And it was a couple hours by bus, but that was well worth it. So what I did, I had a short shopping list, but I actually only ended up with a couple things. The only thing that's not seen here is I did pick up a surplus military towel. Just a hand towel, and I actually have that in the washer right now. But one of the nice things was I got two quart canteens, and I have them getting washed out now. I just have some hot water in them. I've already done soap and all. And I picked up these, and these are two surplus axe sheaths. They are U.S. issued, and there was a whole box of them, and these were the most supple that I could find. Unfortunately, the rivet popped right off of this one. You can see though there's a belt loop underneath. But what I had not realized at the time was how precariously those three rivets were. These have the standard pistol hooks, these are called, so they will fit onto your Alice gear. And they also should fit onto Alice packs. And it's a great sheath. And I think that with some oil, it's going to be a lot nicer. This is one that I cleaned up last night. Cleaned the mildew and dirt off of it. There's a small hole here, but it has the eyelets intact. But what it needs is it needs a new piece of leather back here. There were originally two rivets here, and they've popped out. But with a brand new piece of leather sewed there, I think actually it would be in really nice shape, because that's the only piece on the whole thing that has any sort of issue. The other thing was a really well-aged, or as we'd call it, character. It has a nice character, 1953 dated cup. Now 1953 is a special year for me. Just part of my favorite time of the 50s. When I was in college, I actually took a class devoted just to the 50s, and was one of my favorite studies of history. It's one of my favorite times in American history, I should say. It's the old style cup, as compared with the newer style, which is the butterfly handles, which I can't stand. You can still stick your fork through there. And this was only $5. What's nice is when you develop a friendship or a local connection, sometimes you find really good deals. And you can find items that are marked down, or you can negotiate a bit. And a lot of places offer trade. Now, not everywhere, but some of the survival sort of surplus shops sometimes will. If you bring in some stuff and say, hey, you know, this is what I've got, and that's what I've mastered over the years. So one of the big things is supporting a small business and being respectful. And those are two things that will carry you very far in life. So that was just the basic thing. I know that Intuitive Survival is going to have great interest in these, because one of them is going to end up on his axe at some point. So once I get these oiled up a little bit and cleaned up a little bit more, he and I are going to discuss it. So one of them, all it needs is 3 new rivets, and then the other one, all it needs is a new sewing for the back here. And actually, this one is in, you see that most of the ones that were there were very thick and dried out leather. And if you guys saw my November channel update, you see what happens to oil when you don't, to leather when you don't oil it. It dries out and becomes less supple, and sometimes it shrinks. Leather also stretches, as I understand, and that's why holsters and such, there's a break-in period for. But I'm no leather expert. There are certainly people who have more experience with me, but I had a friend once who was able to restore Civil War era leather and preserve it, and there's a special process, special types of oils that you use, special types of soap. So if you're working with leather and you have an old piece, make sure that you get the proper help so that you don't damage it. I had someone on YouTube message me about a World War II fighting knife that they had come across and ask about the proper way to deal with it. And there are a number of restoration and preservative techniques. none of which am I an expert in, but certainly referred them out to the proper people after I gave my initial advice. But with any leather goods, boots, holsters, hatchet sheaths, gloves, you want to make sure that they remain oiled and polished so that they will have the longest possible life. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope everyone's safe, and remember the reason for Easter. Remember our Savior, Jesus Christ. Thank you, and this is Point Shooter signing out.